I love the BBC.
Welcome back to Beyond Beats and Culture. I am your host, the cultural commentator, Chase the Dark Sage. Here are my co-hosts.
T.
And we are back with another video of hip-hop goodness because we are the number one source on YouTube to actually talk about the music on a consistent basis. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, like the video, and check out the comment section. That way you can interact with other people that are in the comment section to help boost us within the algorithm. But you saw the title, you saw the thumbnail. It's time to talk about it, B. This might be some people's album of the year or worst album of the year. We're talking about J. Cole's allegedly, as of right now, last album, The Fall Off. This is an album that's supposed to be following his Might Delete Later mixtape / off-season album. This is an album that we've been waiting for. This is an album that he's been seriously teasing. As he has coined to be, this is if Hove dropped Reasonable Doubt last within his discography. There was been no leaks for this album. The only songs that we got about this album were in the trailers and that Diss 2 track 2, which is now titled what? The Fall Off is Inevitable.
Yeah.
I was able to listen to this the night it came out. This album is 24 songs, an hour and 41 minutes. I have watched movies shorter than that recently. So you can imagine this has been my first experience with an album in a long while where I was just able to sit down and literally do nothing else, not go on social media, not be driving, not do anything, and just listen to the music, experience it, go through it on a journey with my first listen. And I made a short about it, so if you guys want to see my thoughts about that, check out the short, because we do shorts around here, give our first impressions, our first takes, and things like that. But B, it's finally time to talk about this. We've been longtime J. Cole fans. I found out about J. Cole through you.
Yeah.
Years ago.
Well, like 2010?
Probably when I was like a preteen. Wasn't even a teenager, B.
Yeah.
My sack ain't even dropped. You get what I'm saying? That's how long ago it's been. I want to hear your experience first listening to this, B, because they've already heard mine if they've seen the short, but they haven't heard anything about yours. So please.
So I want to stay up too, B. I told you I was going to stay up and try to listen, but your boy fell asleep. I'm an old man. But I listened to this album on my my commute to work. I sat with this album in my desk for a bit before I got to actually doing some physical labor and playing this. And B, the first listen was tough for me. I think I realized more flaws in this album my first listen, because as everyone else, we're hyper analyzing everything that's going on. And as you said, the marketing, the J. Cole been putting this album like, yo, like this is gonna be it. This is the finale. I've been working on this album for 10 years. So when you do something like that, you set high expectations, you know, B. So when I'm listening to the album, I'm listening to everything you're saying. I'm checking out production, because when our predictions, we said what we want. We want good production. We want something that's theatric, something that's pretty much, I guess, cinematic, and something that's just feels like a moment, you know? And it felt like a moment just going in to listen to this album, but I feel like the album fell short of the expectations. And with 24 tracks of J. Cole, you kind of see a lot of the problems with J. Cole, in my opinion. But you also get great showcasing of rapping, storytelling, you know. But it felt like he started running out of ideas to a point where I feel like we had a lot of singing on here that we really didn't get, that we really don't need from J. Cole, in my opinion. I feel like J. Cole needs to break away from just him just being by himself and kind of incorporate other singers, other R&B singers, to break up the monotonous of J. Cole. Because it got really boring to a point when it's just like, all right, I need a separation from Cole right now. So like by the time I got to the Tim's track and him and Future, I'm like, all right, finally something that can break me away from like J. Cole. But to start us off, he started us off with some James Taylor, this folk singer, Caroline on My Mind. I'm like, okay, I know this song. I get you. You're trying to set the world up, and then you hear gunshots. Boom, 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 boom. I reference your tweet you posted earlier that had me dying, of the kid with the dog, the little puppy, pretty much trying to make it look vicious. I'm not trying to say fair. No, I'm not. You know, you never know what goes on there in Fayetteville. But it's like, J. Cole, man, your town ain't like that. You know what I mean? My people from there. My people, they live there. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, he making it sound too vicious. You know what I'm saying? 2-6 niggas wild. 2-6 niggas wild. But everybody where they from, well, I'm from, you do this, whatever. But 2-6, as the intro, brought the energy. J. Cole was being braggadocious. Said, "Hey, y'all think I'm humble, but I'm not. I don't want to stay at the manor. Like that shit look old, blah blah blah." He get into he talking his talk, and I'm like, all right, cool. I'm feeling this energy. And then you go into not legacy. You go into safety, which is this like boom bap feel, very Nas inspired in me, and kind of Lupe coded in a way as well. How he was rhyming, and I love the storytelling on that. And J. Cole gets into, we have a lot of, J. Cole got like probably the most corny bad bars in like hip hop history if you actually break it down. But he also, he got some other,
You telling me he winning over Big Sean B?
yeah. I'm talking about all right, let me frame it as this. As someone as an elite rapper, J. Cole has some of the
Okay.
most corny bars.
Mm-hmm.
And when I get into this, some stuff that J. Cole talks about, like he's really good at storytelling, but it's some details that like I feel like it's like, bro, come on. Like you can kind of left that out. Especially when he started to talk about his friend Kwai, what I think his name was, Quay. He was like saying how he was, he was he was a gay man, and he was just like he was out in college hanging with the in a
The
booty
guys that take it
types
in the back, as he says.
and all that, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, all right, J. Cole. It's some stuff you just don't have to really get into detail on. You know what I mean? Like we understood, you know. But when I go into that type of stuff from J. Cole, it kind of brings me a little out of it. So I'm like, come on, Cole. Like, you didn't even have to say that, dog. Like, relax.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you go back to some of his old work, he does that stuff. But he said he got that from Kanye. The like corny, the off-kilter type of lines that you just like, that's off-putting in a way. But okay.
Mm-hmm.
But Run a Train. Dope track. I liked it. First, I didn't know if that was actually Future. I'm like, is that Future or J. Cole acting
I
like
thought it was
Future?
J. Cole making a bad impression of Future when I
Yes,
first heard it.
yes.
I'm
That's
like,
what I was
that sounds
thinking,
like
bro.
Future. I'm like, nah. I'm like, there's no auto tune. It don't sound
Yeah.
right. It don't sit
Yeah.
right.
But like by my second listen, that song grew on me, like the Run a Train. Cause first I'm like, I don't know if I like this. But then going to Poor Things, I like Poor Things from the get. But this is when I started thinking about like with the production with Cole. This is not like this feel like J. Cole has his hands on this beat. And you could hear a J. Cole beat because it feels so empty to me. And like it's not much going on. Like you can hear the hi-hats more that's going on in that song. And I don't know, I just feel like you could add more. And I have more problems with certain songs when it comes to like mostly when J. Cole was on the production as well, because it just seems like it's lacking. And Poor Thing is when he ripped into old dude from his hometown. Punk, punk, you know what I'm saying? Hey, he was going in on Cuz. And so at this point, as I listen to the album, over and over, I'm cool. 2 6 is fine, safety, Run a Train, Poor Thing. I'm like, oh, he's on a run. Then Legacy kind of throws me out of it. I'm gonna be honest. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, I'm not mad at the song, but it's just a song. I'm like, it's cool. And then going to Bounce Road Blues, no, Bunts Road Blues. I guess it's a street way from. This is when you get, Tim's and Future on it. Production is pretty good. I just didn't like the Future doing the Usher refrain, like the hook for that. I didn't really care for that. And I don't know. I just felt like the features was kind of weird, like how it didn't have no hook really. It was like, okay, yeah, J. Cole rap verse and a half, Future come in, and then Tim's. And then it just felt like three separate tracks, in my opinion. Like they all had this, I don't know, it just didn't feel like a collaboration, in my opinion. And I know a lot of people loving that song, but it's not a bad song, it's just And then who the F is you is a track that a lot of people are loving as well. I'm not too fond of this track. I think the production is cool. The beat switch is all right. I know a lot of people love that beat switch, but to me, I'm not feeling that beat switch. It feels very dusty to me. I don't know why. I do not like that beat switch. And if we go to drum and bass, I like the production on drum and bass. J. Cole is rapping, but with like this, like, like really kind of laid back flow, how he does it on drum and bass. We took that drum and bass, because I know he's approaching a girl, and this is when we get into like, him having the story of being in the club. And then we get the let out. The let out was too long. I think the let out could have been an interlude. It'd have been perfect flowing into bombs into the Ville. Like that'd have been perfect. Like let out was we could have got like a half a verse from Cole, and it got Ingovada let out, and then flows into it. That's why I feel like I don't know if J. Cole have anybody that's actually like curating this album, showing them how like to just build that story. And that's one of the biggest flaws I have with J. Cole in his career is when he go into when he go into concept albums, I feel like he try to put a little bit too much sauce, and sometimes it's not enough. It's never a perfect balance of like, you know what I'm saying? I don't think he handled concepts well. Even like with Born Sinner was a loose concept, and I feel like that was perfect. That was good for him. But Let Out was too long. Should have been a shorter song. Bombs in the Field, hit the gas, it's cool. Lonely at the Top, bonus track. I didn't like his approach on this track. But the beat, like right when I heard it, I was like, oh yeah, Benny the Butcher intro. I think it's called Baps. To Tana Talk 3. I'm like, that's crazy. But I just didn't like his approach on this. And again, the 39 intro B, I do not like that first half. I know he was trying to do some type of rock inspired thing and then flows into some hip hop with it. He was rapping his butt off on the second half of that. And then we get, the track we already know, this two, track 2, The Fall of Is Inevitable. Cool. Then we get to the Villas. Another Mobb Deep flip. They had a flip in the first track. I forgot what song it was. They had a Mobb Deep flip. But the Villas, another thing. Here we go with the me and you, right? Then they do that refrain.
Mhm.
I'm not feeling that. I'm not
interpolation.
feeling that. Like, why are we doing interpolations of other things, bro? This is your album. Like, come on, man. Let's add a new spin to it. Let's refresh it a little bit. You gotta have vocals from the family, you know what I'm saying? So I can't say nothing wrong about that. But other than that, it's
Mhm.
like the beat's cool, but I don't know, it just didn't really do much for me. But I thought it was a cool track. I said it's a cool track. Old Dogs with Petey Pablo, I understand the energy, didn't like it. But then we get into Life Sentence B. Another hook that the DMX. So how the games was being played, how it's going down. It's on and I got it. Like, come on, bro. Like let's do something. Let's be you. Look, at this point, I'm like, my nigga is running out of ideas. This is 24
So, B,
tracks. What's up?
how do you feel about the idea of the song though?
Of being like saying marriage is a life sentence.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's hilarious. You know what I'm saying? I looked at my wife and like, damn, I'm doing life right now. You know what I'm saying? Like referring as your marriage as a life sentence is funny as hell. And I respect him on that, but I did not like the song, B. Only You, I do not like this song. This song is so boring. Burna Boy did nothing for me. And B, I'm not gonna get it. I'm just doing track by track how I feel about it. But when we get into, I'm gonna talk about other things about it. But we can move on. Man Above, another Marvin Sapp. Nah, I'm good. Rapping was good on there. I like his rapping. I did not care for that production. That production just didn't do it for me.
What about the story? Yeah.
It's we got too many stories.
Mhm.
I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna talk about what
We'll
sick
go
of the
back and forth.
stories.
We'll go
Yeah,
back
we're
and
gonna go.
forth.
I just wanna track by track. I love her. I like what he's talking about because we've been talking about that for I don't know how long. We were talking about what he's talking about for like 3 years now, 2 years or
Mhm.
whatever. But the song is cool. You sample Common to Light, and then also you paying homage to a Common song and picking up what he left off. Cool, but it's a track I start on there. But What If, my nigga, we'll talk about this later, but you never do this again, Cole. Quit Stop, cool little track, homage to the fans. And then In the Whole World is a Ville, Ocean Way, that Diss 39, ugh. It was a chore. But I'm gonna get more into my negative thoughts once we actually, talk about how we feel about the album and totality, B. But track by track, how do you feel, B?
29 intro, like you said, I get it. Sets the tone.
Mhm.
2-6, I get it. You talking about how y'all ain't soft where you come from. I understand it. B, you know what's funny? Track 10, The Let Out, is the reason that I posted that meme because just the melodicness and then laid out. I'm like, you're not making your city sound vicious right now. I said he trying his hardest to make that thing look vicious. B. I'm like, he not. And now, it's like I post a meme. I go back to 2-6. I'm like, you don't make this sound vicious, because me, he don't sound vicious. It don't sound real. Throughout this whole album, I'm like, yo, you trying to make your city sound like it's just the roughest thing on earth. It's not believable. We don't believe you. Me, I feel like if I go there and I tell them that I start running the city, they not gonna do nothing to me. That's how he make the city sound. He make it sound soft. I think that y'all want. Please. Look, what he say? I'm not in the streets. I'm a sidewalk Negro.
I'm a
I'm not with
sidewalk,
that.
yeah.
That's me. I'm not with that. But he made it all sound like y'all all sidewalk Negroes because it don't sound believable. But going back to 6, cool. Safety, cool. Run a Train, I'm like, yo. I'm like, this sounds like Future, but it sounds like a very bad J. Cole impersonating Future, though.
Mhm.
Especially with the "Let's run a train." It sounds like Future is
Mhm.
struggling to say. I don't even think Future felt like it was right for him to say that on this track right here. I don't know. You get to Poor Thing, this is the energy that we needed. Now, if he would have came with this on 7-Minute Drill, that would have been a different story. But this
Mhm.
is the energy that we needed. I wish we had a little bit more context behind this, but I was like, I like the song. This is going to be the song that's going to be on the radio. Legacy, I liked it at first when I first heard it on initial listens. After more listens afterwards, yeah, I could do without the song. Bunch Road Blues, B, I completely agree with you. It's like J. Cole sent this to Tim's and Future, did not tell them what the song was about, just said, yo, do something melodic on here. That's all
Mhm.
he said. He gave them a time frame of how long to be. He didn't tell neither of them the subject matter though, because I'm like, this felt like you said, 3 different songs, 3 different
Mhm.
people not knowing what the assignment is right now. B, this is when they doing the group project. You don't have everybody else's phone number, and you just do your part, and it don't sequence into the other people's parts. That's how it felt. B. Who the F is you is cool. I actually like the little dusty, beat
Mhm.
switch at the end. I like the flow and the pocket that he was in on that.
I feel
Drum
you.
and bass, I like it enough, but it's not a song that I'm like, oh, that's the one I got to return to on this one.
Mhm.
It's cool. It ain't bad. Now, the Let Out, B, I am echoing your same sentiments. On some of these songs, it felt like J. Cole just didn't know when to end it. Because the
Mhm.
Let Out, at first, when you first hear it, I'm like, okay, this kind of feels like a cowboy / Western. I'm like, when the beat first comes out, I'm like, But when it starts actually becoming more hip hop based beat, I'm like,
Mhm.
ooh. And even though J. Cole is a lot more melodic on this project right here,
Mhm.
there's some times where I'm like, J. Cole, this is getting very cringe worthy. But I'm like, yo, on this, when he was in the layout, see, I was like, okay, cool. And then when the beat drops, but then there was one part of the beat where it's like it kind of changes because it kind of drops out. And then it comes back, and I'm like, it's like it felt like you didn't know where to go necessarily. He was like, yo, let me cut to a hook again because
Right, right.
the hook was just so fire that you guys really like that, right? I don't know. Then we get Bombs of the Ville / hit the dang, I can't see the full name, but I was like, that's cool.
Hit the glass.
Lonely at the Top is Hit the Glass. I was like, these last 2 tracks is cool, but I didn't really dig it. And one of my biggest problems with this project so far, before I get into Disc 39, even though these CDs, this is each concepts, I feel like the concepts weren't strong enough, and they were just too loose to where it's like, if I would have just listened to this project, I would not get the concept at all. I still don't get the concept, even with you saying, oh, this 29 is you taking a trip home at the age of 29, and this 39 is you taking a trip home at the age of 39, because none of the ideas really coincide with that theme for me.
Mhm.
CB, when I think about a concept album, one of the greatest and last ones that we really got, especially when we come to a narrative structure, and I'm not trying to compare him to this guy on this project, but I'm just giving a good example of a good concept that hits really well, and you could tell the story without needing outside sources to confirm what you're thinking, is a good Kid Mad City. I feel like when I come in there, the storytelling is in my face. I feel like I get it, especially with the skits and the interludes. I feel like this album could have had more skits and interludes to help tie certain themes and concepts in, but it doesn't. And so you have to take each song at face value, and it feels more like a collection of songs that he made at that age rather than these are the actual thoughts I had while driving home. You get what I'm saying? Because it's like, why are you talking about, oh, everybody from the Ville, they ain't the ones to mess with while you're driving home? What are those thoughts coming from? Because if this is at the beginning of the drive, you coming from New York thinking about 2-6, thinking y'all ain't the ones to play with. I'm like, okay. But like I said, to me, the concepts is too loose. They don't fit well together enough for me. Storytelling wise, J. Cole is cool. But sometimes the storytelling is just way too, it's too easy to get to where it's like, it's easily fed to me. I ain't got to do no thinking. It's not really descriptive. You're just telling me the events while rhyming to me. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I agree with you, B. There was too much J. Cole. The features to me in total didn't make sense, because I'm just like, I wish, and this is where I start to get to this too in a little bit, I wish he would have used more features in places to actually use them as instruments, because having someone with a voice like Tim's just on that song, just to basically take up most of the song and outro it, I'm like, you could have had her more for the atmosphere setting, especially with like an interlude or something, or to set you up so you could have a longer verse on that song. I don't know. Future being on here really wasn't needed, because J. Cole could have done what Future did, because Future sounded stripped down on what he was doing. And to me, the interpolations throughout this whole album, I felt like it was just too out there. They were too obvious. They wasn't cleverly done. I felt like it was very unoriginal. And I know Jay-Z has had these same problems with being unoriginal, because he used a lot of Biggie lines, right? So I'm like, I don't know if J. Cole is trying to do a Jay-Z impersonation on here with doing that type of thing. I don't know. Going to Disc 39. I love the beat switch to the second part of 39 intro. The Fall Off is Inevitable is still one of my favorite songs on here. Short, sweet, simple, but I wish that this wasn't disc 2, track 2, because why is this at the beginning of at the beginning of your ride again to home at the age of 39, when this could have been like the last track, but then I wouldn't have liked it as a single either. This should have been like the intro to the actual disc 2, or the intro to the whole Fall Off in general. That would have been even a better mood setter for me. The Villas, cool, like you said, Mob Deep, Flip. I hated the fact that you interpolated Me and You Elevators. This wasn't cleverly done. Erica did a good job. Then we get track 4 with PD Pablo. Didn't really care for PD Pablo's feature presence. Energy was cool. Old Dog was cool. Life Sentence, another interpolation from DMX. Wow, whoopee. It's like these interpolations keep coming back to back. I'm like, all right. And they're very on the nose. I don't know if this has to do with the back cover of all the posters that he had on his wall or whatever that he included in the back cover. Then we get track 6. And I hate to say it like this, J. Cole again, being melodic. And J. Cole, to me, I cannot take him seriously when he's being super melodic. I don't know what it is. Burna Boy, this fits more of his theme. But I would have rather this a Burna Boy track with maybe a J. Cole feature, because to me, this don't really fit on the album. To me, Burna Boy stole the show, and that's not a good thing saying on your allegedly last album. Man Up Above, cool. Marvin, was it Marvin Sapp sample?
Yeah, Sapp.
Another storytelling track, which it wasn't about you. And I just felt like for a finale album, you telling me another story that I'm not really intrigued with, another person that I'm not intrigued with as well, rather than telling you a story about you or something about you at the age of 39, don't really care for. I love her again. This pays homage to Common in 2 ways, with him sampling The Light and referring to I Used to Love Her, because Common was talking about hip hop in that song. J. Cole's doing the same thing, but again in this song, J. Cole's doing a storytelling-esque thing where he's talking about his love/hate relationship with hip hop, about how hip hop has changed over the time of him loving her and him getting into hip hop. Yada yada. Woo, woo, woo. Don't want to ever play this one again. Another one I don't want to play again. What If, featuring Murray. Murray didn't really need to be a feature on here because he didn't really do much on here. I didn't really care for this track either. He even references the beef with Kendrick Lamar and Drake. Didn't really need this track because it's like, what does this have to do with you and the Fall Off? I don't know, B. It's like you're talking about 2 other guys that, like we said before, B, that we need to let these guys go. We've already had plenty of other rappers talk about how beef is a bad thing. Beef can lead to violence. Beef has killed people in hip hop. We've had this before. I don't need you in the perspective of Biggie and Tupac, you rapping in their flows and styles, for you to say like, oh man, I should have apologized before things got crazy. It's like, yeah, we've had these what if conversations for I don't know how long, B. I'm tired of. This is not a subject I care to hear for on your album. I came here to hear about you. This is the third. Look, he apologized like 2 or 3 more times in this album, B. I'm tired of the goddamn apologies. I'm just saying. Quick Stop is cool. It's cool. Which song was it? Let's Run Away. I'm like, J. Cole, stop. Get out of my ear. What song was that?
I think it's the whole world is the Ville. I think so.
Both of the bonus tracks on each of these discs, I could have done without them. Why are you including a bonus track for each disc when you intentionally wanted these songs on the album? Why is it a bonus track? Why? Just make it an epilogue track. You wanted to make this whole story, this whole concept, make it an epilogue. If you wanted to do a narrative type thing, structure it a little bit better. Overall, for me with this track listing, this album is bloated. It is bloated. It did not need to be an hour and 41 minutes. It does not give that cinematic feel of an album to be an hour and 41 minutes. Arguably one of the greatest hip hop albums that we have is about an hour. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. This does not need to be an hour and 41 minutes. I get it. You probably have all these ideas you want to get off your chest. You could have done literally a throwaway album. You have a whole project called My Delete Later. You could have put some of this on My Delete Later Volume 2.
Most definitely.
All of this does not need to be on this album.
If we just give on overall just how we feel about this project, B, like you said, it's a lot of ideas, a lot of things he worked on that had no nuance. It added no nuance to the album, like none. If you having the whole concept of me visiting my hometown at 29 after I dropped 24 Hills, Forest Hills Drive or whatever, and then at 39 before the battle and everything, and I went back home and I'm realizing home will never be the same. Like I seen those themes in there of like, okay, boom, like the Ville just not gonna be the Ville no more. I am J. Cole. I don't like fame, blah blah blah, and like Yes, we all know that you don't like Fame, but I feel like when it comes to these songs, nothing fleshed out the concept of the story. And one thing about J. Cole that I've noticed throughout his career is when he tells stories, it's always in the perspective of friends' eyes and not how he feel about things. Sometimes, like he talked about his perspective on hip hop, but he do a lot of introspection through other people's view. And I feel like we need more of J. Cole, and I feel like he mentioned things, but he never go into depth with things sometimes. Like, I want to know how you felt about being in that slave deal with Jay-Z. Like, get into detail on that type of stuff. This is your last album. You didn't really talk much about your career or like your perspective on things now, and your outlook of being the successful rapper, and just what is your dealings mostly with Fame and how the D riding, like he didn't expound on none of the stuff he talked about in mentioning in the mixtape, in the Blizzard, the birthday Blizzard. I feel like he got a little bit like saying more vaguely things, but I feel like in the album you could fully flesh out some of those thoughts and put them out on this bigger platform on the album. But I feel like he wasted that having songs with freaking Burna Boy that meant nothing to you being back home. You know what I'm saying? We had 2 back-to-back girl tracks. Like, I know you love your wife, but I'm like, you could give us like one song, like Life Sentence, and then go into something else. Cause I feel like this should not been 24 songs. This could have been an easy 15 tracks at most, or one disc. I didn't see nothing how the beef changed you to make a second disc. Do you got anything to follow me up?
To me, this one feels like a more refined version of 2014 Forest Hills Drive. From production, atmosphere, melancholy, him being a bit more melodic. To me, that's what disc one felt like. And I'm just like, I could definitely tell this is like 29-year-old Cole, because some of the topics, some of the upbeat type songs that you have on here as well reminded me a lot of 2014 Forest Hills Drive. Disc two, a lot of that was like bloat and fluff. And I really wish on disc two we would have got more off-season J. Cole than we would have gotten like these storytelling what if scenarios type things that we got on there. I'm like, dang, like, and another thing that I wish for B is that this is your last album, your last outing. I wanted you to lyrically spar with someone, B.
Yeah.
I wanted you to go back and forth with someone. B, he didn't give himself a challenge with no type of MC on this project, which is sad because everybody that you got on here is melodic. And while some of them do an all right job, a lot of them really wasn't needed. To me, there was too much J. Cole on this album, not enough really fleshing out of concepts, lyrically sparring. B, when we have Reasonable Doubt and we have the song Brooklyn's Finest with Biggie and Jay-Z, one of the best like duo back and forth tracks that we've ever gotten in hip hop.
Yeah.
For me, we could have easily got that on here. I could have easily heard some songs with maybe like a Drake or J. Cole, or a Kendrick Lamar feature on here. I would have loved some sparring back and forth. He put no one on from Dreamville in terms of like maybe have a Jid feature or anything, even though I wouldn't have cared for that. Good thing we didn't have no Boss feature on here as well, because we got enough of that on My Delete Later and off season. But there was not enough like testing of the skill, sharpening of the pen. Like, B, this is album wise coming off after off season, which is Cole at his best performance wise. I think My Delete Later has way better rapping performances on there than this album does too.
Because it feel like this album was filled with, a lot of storytelling, a lot of emotion, but I feel like some of the emotion wasn't well like presented, in my opinion. And to go back to collaboration, I think in most of any double disc albums, I think collaboration plays a big part, even with producers, especially when it comes to features. Because, like you said, you got to break up some of like J. Cole. So much J. Cole, like even off camera, like weeks ago when I said 2 discs of J. Cole, that sound like Audio NyQuil. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need more of collaboration on this, especially being your last project. We can get some collaborations that we never heard. Some people that can push you a little more. Like, oh snap, I might have to rewrite this verse, bro. You saw what he sent over? And I know the Drake and Kendrick stuff is a fever dream because of everything will happen. Like, we was like hoping that would happen, but with everything that changed, I'm pretty sure that wasn't happening, or probably never happen again. I just wish that J. Cole even would have collaborated more with different producers. Cause to be honest, like T Minus is cool. He had some good stuff on here. Vinyls did the like flip and everything on some stuff, but it's like the production feel like he needs someone to do executive produce him. Like, all right, bro, this don't need a third verse. Okay, let's add a bridge here. Let's bring in, come on, Ari Lennox. Let's get Ari. Come on, all right, we finna go over here. We finna get we might get SZA for this joint or somebody. Like, you know what I mean? Like, let's break it up a little bit. Let's get LMA. Let's, you know what I'm saying? If you want to let's get Brit Fayez on this or something. Like, Let's switch it up. Let's have some different sounds. Let's make this a collaborative effort because it's 24 songs and it's a lot of J. Cole. And I know it's your album. You do your album how you want, but it's like, it's ingredients to making a great album, bro. It's certain things you have to do. And him being the artist that he is, he can bring in those big producers to actually, make him push boundaries and make him kind of step out. I feel like J. Cole do a lot of the things that he's comfortable with. Like, have niggas ever told you, J. Cole, that your singing sucks? Like, stop being melodic. Like, I don't know no melodic song that J. Cole is actually being vocal, like him vocally, that I go back to and just listen to. Right now, I probably can't think of one off the head, but I don't go back to hear J. Cole. Let's run away. I'm not going back to J. Cole. We survived the let out. No, I'm not going back to none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not. J. Cole, you're good at rapping. That's why I think Off Season to me is your best album, because you rapped and everything was simple. I think J. Cole is a nigga. He's not a stupid dude, but I don't think you give him a lot of I don't think you give him complex, like, make this type of album, because he's not good at executing. And this one I don't like. I don't like to compare niggas to like other artists, but you have to. And it's a big three. And I feel like people try to put him in a conversation with Kendrick when it comes to executing albums and actually building a world, but I don't think they're in the same frame. Like J. Cole, technically, like rapping wise, the double entendre, just being that MC, I feel like he brings that, and that's his strength. But when he try to use concepts and stuff, I think that's when he falls short as. Because at the same time, he's not willing to collaborate with more people. Kendrick collaborate. He allows his producers in. He has features from all walks of the world, people that knows they jazz. He brings in Terrence Martin. He brings in all these other people to help on this album, even from people from the past. And I feel like if J. Cole gonna do that, he needs to get with people, different producers, I don't know, that can actually help him and craft that album. And I don't know if he's willing to do that because he want to touch production. He want to do this. And I know it's like he's a DIY nigga. You know what I mean? He's like, he want to have his money, so he want to have all his cake. He is a little humble, but he's that, what's they call him? He's frugal. You know what I'm saying? He's frugal.
Oh yeah, he's frugal.
He's frugal. Yeah, this nigga's the Dave Ramsey of rap. You know what I'm saying? This nigga want to do it himself, nigga. Beans and rice. You know what I'm saying? Rice and beans. Sometimes you got to bring other people in, man. Like, you want to get in your little Honda right now with the new engine in and drive around down the NCAT and sell your CDs. You know what I'm saying? But like, bro, some of that money, you need to invest that into better production. And sometimes, my nigga, you need to put away that MPC. I don't want to see J. Cole production nowhere, bro, because I'm not saying his production is bad, but it lacks depth. It lacks that character. The character,
to me, it lacks artistic vision.
Yes, and I feel like, bro, I knew when he touched the beat. I knew when he had something to do with it. Then when I'm like, this J. Cole, because it sounds the same. It sounds like I heard it before. You know what I mean? I'd be like, okay, and I'm like, come on, bro. And even though, like, on Poor Things, I'm like, this is J. Cole. Then he brought in the Boosie. I'm about that regular, and I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna go in on it. It's not.
He got
bad,
you, B. He got you, B.
But
you got weak on that sample, B.
Nah, bro, I ain't like it. I let him make it because what came afterward, I was like, all right, this what we need from J. Cole when he don't like a nigga. You can tell J. Cole don't like that nigga that's from Fayetteville. You know what I'm saying? He actually talk, hey, you got two parents. He dissed him for having two parents. You know what I'm saying? He really don't like that dude. So that's what I'm saying. When your emotions in it, when you doing disses, that's when you do it. So I respect J. Cole for backing out. But other than that, bro, this album is so bloated, man. He needed to like chop this down, man. I say 40 minutes, B. This shouldn't have been an hour 40, bro. This could have been an hour at most. And short.
Are we chopping it down to like it's supposed to be his last album, or are we just shorting it up to be a great album?
A good album, and if it's his last, I don't believe it's his last album though.
It can be, because I don't think he got into B. He didn't even talk about his career like that.
That's what I'm saying.
So it can't be.
I don't know.
This has to be just for the story. I think this is just for the story. J. Cole's just trying to create his own little metaverse with his albums and his storyline. That's all he's doing.
And if we're gonna talk about the storyline of the fall off, B, he didn't convey this well to me.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Especially this 39. This 29, I could see like most of the stories you bringing up. I could see that you back home, you talking about girls that you met, you seen at the club, you ain't seen in years, you vaguely remember. But in 39, the only thing, okay, you was at the stop. You was at the gas station. That's all I really remember.
Maybe Man Above when he was hearing about the other guy. talking about, I couldn't be him because I got to be
Oh
there
yeah,
for my child's
yeah.
important
Doing
years.
that. Yeah, but you get what I'm saying though.
Yeah, I
Like
get what you're saying. Story.
Yeah,
It's like, to me, nothing really described the setting of you at age 39 because it's just like,
this.
first of all, B, when we talk about this, was Cole 39 when the beef went off?
His birthday hit. He turned 40 because his birthday
So
in
the thing
February. The
is,
beef popped off in March. I mean, his birthday in January.
so in the song "What If," he references the beef, but if you were 39, why are you referencing the beef?
Oh yeah, this whole album he was still he's been in his 30s and 40s and all that. Like some of these albums, like even on Dish 29, some of them songs came out like he made like last year. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's but like no. I don't know. I just don't understand this concept because like it's not like you recorded all this one at 29. You know what I'm saying? You didn't do that. You know what I mean? And then you recorded this 39 way after the beef. Like not way, but after the beef. Because some of the stuff you talked about. So it's like, come on. I don't know. I just didn't get the concept like that. It didn't flow well.
To be honest, the concept is weak. To me, this is, I hate to say it, B,
Pretentious.
I think Cole was going pretentious on this album. Just like that For Your Eyes Only, how I crapped on that. He was trying to do that with this album right here.
Cardboard cutout bookshelf?
Yes. Yes. Try to make that mother effer look vicious, B. He did not. He didn't.
And then look, and I'm gonna just go into like of what I believe that J. Cole was trying to do. I feel like how he's handling everything, he was trying to put out the album that he wanted to put out. I feel like he didn't how he was talking about the D riders and all this. I think he intentionally did what he wanted to do. And I can praise him on that. Like, do what you want to do, bro. You know what I'm saying? You said, hey, I want to do with this album what I couldn't do with my first. And I'm like, you know, peace to you, bro. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I'd rather listen to your first album than this. And this is middle of the tier Cole. Man, I feel like it's so crazy how you could try to put so much into a project and it's still not your best, and you want it to be your best so bad. Like saying things like it's reasonable doubt if it was released last. Like, bro, the fall off gonna be this. Bro, you've been teasing this album for like over 10 years and it didn't meet expectations. Come on, man. You know you had a lot riding on this album. This album is like probably the most anticipated double disc, probably the most anticipated album of the decade of this year. I don't think nothing gonna reach the anticipation as Iceman probably. Iceman probably will be up there because people are gonna be ready to crap on that and like it.
We only hype for that because of the beef.
That's what I'm saying.
This,
same thing.
We've been hyped for without.
But this I know, but this the beef also on top of this album as well. Think about it. That
I agree.
added
That's what I'm
more.
saying. That's what I'm saying. This one's more anticipated. This one was way more anticipated because he had the little, remember B? He had the little lineup sheet off season. It's a boy. This gotta be It's a Boy, B. This can't be the fall off.
Bro, some of these tracks could have been made into It's a Boy, and then he could have made a shorter album for the fall off, bro. Like this album is so far the last few days, it's been like the hottest topic. It's mad controversial right now. It's splitting fan bases of people going back and forth. J. Cole, I've seen people saying this not the real album.
He's heard them talks before, B.
Oh, we heard that in
We've
TV,
heard them
movies,
talks before.
gaming. Man, bro. So I just feel like he can't leave us with this. He can't leave us with this, B.
B, this a stain on the legacy, B?
B, what do you think? Well, like, what would you score this album if you was to score it out of 10?
B, just like you said a while ago, I'm middle of the road on this because of how bloated it is, because of the subject matter, rapping performance, and everything. At most, I give it a 7.5. It's a C. Yeah. Like there was some glimpses of some great stuff, some good stuff on here, but a lot of that bloat is what drags it down. A lot of the feature list lacking. No sharpening of the pen. The rap performances wasn't up there like off season. I'm only comparing it to his previous work because we've seen what J. Cole can do. So I'm comparing it to an album like an off season, like a Born Sinner. Born Sinner, tightly knitted. He even had an interlude. Mo Money hit the topic real nice. Intro hit the topic real nice. We got the songs with the concepts like a Power Trip, like a Crooked Smile. We got those concepts. Here, we don't got those type of concepts that's going in that sequencing to where it's like, boom, I got all this within an hour. I got a really good project. Off season, rapping performances off the charts. He didn't have no type of concept where he had to really think and had to sit there and structure it. he was going off on them features, B. Even though he didn't really have any rapping features, like he had Lil Baby on there. Like, of course he's gonna out rap Lil Baby. That's with ease.
But Lil Baby had a
the
good
fact that he
verse. It was a cool
collaborated,
verse.
you're right. And guess what? It was another rapping verse, B. Who else has a rapping verse on here?
Nobody. Hey.
So B, this is not if Hove dropped Reasonable Doubt last. It's not. Because first of all, Hove has an American Gangster, which is a revised version of Reasonable Doubt, in my opinion. But this is not Reasonable Doubt dropped last. It's not.
Man, look, I give this a 6. And if I give it a 7, I'm being nice. This album is a 6 at best. Because J. Cole himself, he knows himself the best. You know what I'm saying? We the consumer. We've been watching his career since 2009 and up, right? I know your flaws, bro. You displayed them. Cause in 24 tracks, so much stuff is all you. All your good, all your bad is right there on display. We can see when you running out of ideas. We can see when you lack in production. It's too much. Well, with J. Cole, we need 39 to 40 minutes of J. Cole. At the most an hour. Because you can disguise some of this stuff. You need features. Sometimes you can disguise this stuff. You can break things apart. Like this is how you can work an album. As someone that I've never put an album together before in my life, but I worked on EPs, instrumental, like when I used to be in school and doing music and stuff. But you always want to build this world. And I feel like the world he built as Fed Nom, as the fall off, wasn't done correctly, in my opinion. Because if it's the fall off, I want to hear about your career. Even though I know you've been talking about, but I want to hear like the things that you haven't told us about. Like I said, how do it feels to be out of that deal? How was it to be in that deal? What was the things you was dealing with? And I know he alluded to some of the stuff in the podcast, but everybody didn't listen to that podcast. But we listening to the music. So I needed him to put more focus on things that was going on in his career to build up to the fall off. Like he didn't even speak on that fall off theory he have. Like he just did that in that little interlude with having a guy talk about it. He didn't really break that down in his thoughts on that. I feel like I after this been his last album, I feel like I don't exactly know J. Cole as much as he think the fans do know him, or just the everyday common listener of his. I feel like I left away like that's it. That's how I felt. That's it with this album. And he had some bars on there. The half black Messiah. That boy had. I'm like, what is this? He came to Logic. He's like, the best rap, the hardest nigga out has a white mom. I'm like, what do that have to do with anything, my boy? Oh no, man, I don't know. It displayed a lot of corn in this as well. You know what I'm saying? And this is 6, bro. If I'm gonna get this album a listen, I mean a number base score on it. It's a 6. I might continue to listen to this album. I'm not done with it. I want to listen to it more throughout the year. I think I'm done with it for the rest of this month. I don't think I will touch this album again because I just don't think it's worth right now to continue to listen to it a lot right now. But the fans, y'all loving it. I saw a dude give it 100 out of 10. The fans gonna love it. They love Cole. Cole can get on the track and fart. They gonna be your best fart I ever heard. They don't even smell bad. Yeah. So like but I don't know, man. Like I hate that this your final album. I'm still like dead in and what else? Like is more we need from you. You still ain't put out the album that you need to put out as the caliber that you are. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have that. His album is 2014. That album is not that. I'm sorry, guys. It's not that album. The caliber
like I've been thinking.
Mediocre albums. Come on, man. Bad beat making. This nigga is Nas. He did let Nas down.
Funny part B. I would akin this album more to a Streets Disciples than Reasonable Doubt. 2-disc album. That second disc wasn't needed. First disc was straight. Second disc, that's when things get shaky. This is Nas's Streets Disciple all over again for me.
And it's just like sometimes you hear J. Cole rap and he's just like, I don't believe you, bro. I don't believe it. Like I was just hearing him like, I don't believe you like I did. I don't. He just wasn't doing it like the voice. It's just some stuff like, it's just he has it, but he don't. I wish I could articulate this feeling I be having when I hear J. Cole rap, especially on this album. It's like Where's the off-season J. Cole? And on cool production and everything. I'm like, I like that. Short, sweet. That's what we need from Cole. Cole just all he had to do give us 50 minutes of just storytelling, dope raps, just bring it in together and dope production. That's all he need. Like, yes, you could bring people in and you could simplify it like that. He should have used off-season as the skeleton to build his album. And I don't know what he was thinking. I feel like he just had so much he wanted to do and he just did not do it well. He was so much singing on this album, bro. So much harmonizing. That's not your bag. That's not what you do well. Just stop it. And at this point, I don't want to be going in circles. Pretty much said most of my thoughts, but I'm really disappointed in this album, dog. I wanted this album to be so good. Like, we've been hyped for this album. We've been dropping freaking J. Cole content for like since it's been announced. Cause we hyped.
Cole, we've been giving you some positive PR lately. We did a tier list ranking, which if you haven't seen that, go check it out. Did shorts. We talked about Disc 2 Track 2 when it dropped. Looking at this album right here, there's stuff I enjoy on this album.
Yeah, of course.
There is a good, solid album within all this bloated mess. There's a lot of fat on this album that just needs to be trimmed. But I think this should have been titled It's a Boy. This should not have been The Fall Off. Because maybe he's trying to fall off with this album. Maybe that's the thing. We knew he was going to put his hands on some of this production, B, because he took a picture of his MPC and put it as the album cover. B, he was letting you know beforehand he was going to touch some of that production, B. He was like, yo, I got to go back to my roots. He was letting you know beforehand. And the features, B, the features were so weak. I'm not saying you had to have the biggest names on here, but come on, man. There was no other rapping feature on here? No other one?
B, he missed the opportunity of, like, he could have done it so well. This 2 track 2 should have been this 1 track 2 to the intro. Telling you about everything that happened, goes into boom, he put you where he at. And then he could show you his he could tell you the come up story, but in modernized. Then you get in the next track, the next disc, and then he telling you what comes on and getting up. It led up to the beef of like him getting out of his label deal. You could have done that perfectly and also incorporated the love story and had the features. Like, that'd have been as easy, but you want to do this. Oh, I went back home at 29, and then it's like, bro, you didn't even do this well, bro. He didn't do that well. B, out of 24 tracks, I start 9 tracks out of 24. 9. Some tracks I didn't start because they was okay to me. I'm just not doing it. That's how he got a 6 for me in this rating. Not this, J. Cole. Not this. This can't be the end. I think he named it The Fall Off because this is the album that will make him fall off.
That's what I was saying, B. That's why I said that's why he called it The Fall Off.
And we talked about this album for an hour, bro. This is how much we wanted this album to be great. We sat here, listened to this. I listened to this album since it dropped. Well, when I woke up. To now, I've been playing this album, B. Still ain't hit. Some songs I like more, but in that, it's a lot of misses on this thing, bro. But it's some stuff I like. But I feel like it's a good amount. It was a lot of storytelling from other people's perspective, and that's one thing. Like with the For Your Eyes Only, it's like, Cole, come on, let's hear a little more stuff about what you feel about certain things. Don't use Biggie and Pac and how you feel about the Kendrick Lamar and Drake. Actually, talk about Kendrick Lamar and Drake and how you felt about that. Even though you did it on the clouds a little bit, but no, actually get into it, break it down, do a whole verse on this perspective and do another. No, you talk about it. How you felt about when Drake did and when you felt about when Kendrick did. Or have those conversations opposed that you had with Kendrick. Talk about it if you want. If you don't want to put stuff out there like that, you can loosely do it. But don't talk about niggas you never met in your life. I don't understand this. It's a lot of D-Rod. Even with like Kendrick, Drake, they all did it too. But at least when Kendrick did it, I feel like when he rapped at like Pac and Reincarnation in that freaking voice, it was way better than what J. Cole did. Even though it was some D-Rod and actually had the whole letter and having an interview, like Kendrick did go supreme with it. But you made these niggas apologize at your thing. Like, oh, these niggas like me, they gonna be like me. No, they didn't apologize. That's why they dead. That's why they dead now, because they went to war. But nigga, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Niggas try to make fictional word. What is that track was whack, bro? That could have been like off a loop, like thrown to away. Like that could have been a leak. Like a nigga's like, yo, I got this fucking J. Cole.
That's a might delete later.
Bro, that's a delete. He should have never gotten a booth and done that. B, that track is embarrassing and corny, my nigga. Like I skipped that track. I do not re-listen to the track. I heard it like twice and I haven't went back. But if
Oh my
if it was
god.
like, come on, dog. Like, come on, dog. This one I'm telling you, bro. Like this one, him and Logic, man. That's why they kinfolk. Like they got mad similarities, bro. It's them niggas, them tragic mulattoes when they like, man, I'm black but I'm white. I got this white mom. Like I'm dealing with these complex. Like, am I black or am I white? It's like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like they try to do too much to like appeal to like, but it's like, bro, just be you, man. I know I'm not a mixed man, so but I'm just saying, bro, just you a black man in our eyes, bro. Bro, I never knew you was mixed till like 2011. You brought your mom to the Grammys, I think, like or something like that, bro. I didn't even know. I thought you was my dad looked more mixed than you, dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like nobody cares, but like, come on, man. I don't know what's up with this nigga, man. I can't believe J. Cole did this to us, B. And hey, it's so crazy how I'm agreeing with, like, I've agreed with everybody on the timeline in some sorts. It's nobody I'd be like, I super disagree with. That's how freaking controversial this album is, and how blatantly some of the problems with this album is. That a lot of people is echoing the same sentiments. I've never seen this so much. And I'm liking stuff that's left field and kind of in the vein of his fans. I see some of his fans being like, nah, bro, that's not it. I don't know. That's all I gotta say, B. I ain't got nothing else to say, man.
I got Born Center off season and sideline story for me to go back to and might delete later. I thought this was gonna be a top 5 J. Cole album. Yeah, I don't know about that one. I'm sad.
B, man.
I still got off season and Born Center though, so I'm cool. But this, I'm thinking this is about to be a top 3er, B. Top 3. Nah,
It's crazy. We
that
got
ain't
the
it.
evidence of all Cole do is put out mediocre projects. And it's so crazy, right? It's so crazy. Like, I'm gonna put this framework here for people, man. When I put a S tier for a J. Cole album, that's for a J. Cole album. I'm not putting it against a hip hop classic or nothing. I'm putting it in J. Cole discography. Think about that. That's how mediocre this nigga albums be. Think about it. It's only what album. I'm trying to think of a classic album that I can compare any of J. Cole albums to. I can't think of any, in my opinion.
None.
I can't. I will
None.
not put any of J. Cole albums up to a classic. I could play Off Season and Gen X. I could put them two together because them two albums to me, good albums, but not classic. I'm just saying. I'm saying they in that same frame, in my opinion. I'm saying they in that same frame of like good albums. I say Off Season better. I say Off Season's better.
Okay.
But I'm saying I compare them to. But I'm not putting Forest Hill Drive, which is J. Cole's classic, to a Good Kid, Mad City. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm just not. You know, it's levels. They say it's levels to this shit. J. Cole to Fall Off, 2026, February 6, 2-6. The 2-6 niggas wild. Should I go look at the merch?
I didn't do it. I didn't think about it.
What?
2-6? 2-6?
Yeah, that's the flip. You never got that?
I never got that. 2-6, 2-6, 2-6. That's why.
Yo, J. Cole, man, hold up, bro. I'm finna look up.
He
Oh
said
no,
this
this
is-
nigga
he
tried
said-
to get us to sing the spell out Fad Nom in that one song, bro. It's like, nigga, that's too long. I'm not doing that. It was stuff that he was doing on his album. Like, yo, I'm not doing that, Cole. I'm not.
I don't remember that, and I don't want to remember that.
I'm not doing that, man. He gonna make me talk to some of my cousins that's in Fayetteville, bro. That was my family at it. That's in North Carolina. They live there.
B, you got anything
What's
else
up,
to say
man?
about this album before we close it out?
J. Cole, if you watching, take it back to Dead End Hip Hop. Shout out to the OGs. If you watching this, bro, I hope you a good farewell to your family, man, your future endeavors, being a family man, having different streams of income, and probably being a landlord somewhere in North Carolina. You know, maybe have your little bucket hat on out there fishing, listening to some James Taylor with your kids, with your boys. Shout out to y'all, man. But if you come back to hip hop and you be like, this the best return album ever. This is like if Jay-Z dropped 444 first. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm just saying this can't be the end or the fall off for you. Cause this is not a way to leave a legacy you left behind or a career. Cause you didn't do it, my friend. But shout out to you, my dude. But B, I'm disappointed. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm really disappointed.
Cole, this ain't your last album. I need you to come back on Kingdom Come status, but with an American Gangster. That's what I need you to come back with. Because this ain't even black album type. Oh, I'm going in retirement after this album.
Black Album crazy. It felt like it.
It felt like what?
Say Black Album felt like it was going to be a retirement album. Like it was grand.
Oh, I thought you were saying that this felt like Black Album.
No,
I was like, what?
No.
Oh, okay, yeah. But yeah, this ain't it. Because you didn't touch on all the topics that you need to touch on.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it. There might be some stuff you don't want to talk about. Well, god dang it, this is hip hop. You're going to talk about them. You're going to talk about them at some point. Might not be when we're ready to hear it, but you're going to talk about it. God dang it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my understatement. This ain't the last album. This is the fall off. This is just going into the storyline of him falling off. You didn't even touch on how you fell off in the Fall Off is Inevitable song. When did you fall off in that song? You died. You went from dying to being put back in the womb. You never told us when you fell out, when you went off on your label. You never said any of that. You just told us a story in backwards, which really you just told us the key moments. Not even the fall off part. Not when you had your first hit single or anything. Not even when you made your first mixtape. No. Just major key points in your life as a family man, really.
That's what I'm saying. I think this is like an album when he expects you to know all the interviews. He expects you to know all the lore. You know what I'm saying? To follow the podcast, the interviews he did with other people.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
It's just like some people just don't follow you like that. But you can say, hey, this album for the fans and for J. Cole. So it is what it is, man.
But guys, you let us know what you think about this album down in the comment section down below. We spent a good amount of time talking about this album, so you can't say we ain't really talk about the music or we ain't go in depth, because god dang it, we did. We talked for a while on this album. We probably talked longer than this one. I don't know. But you guys let us know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. And what would y'all give this as a rating on J. Cole's scale in terms of albums? Or number-wise, what would you grade this? Let us know in the comment section down below. But that has been it for another video from Beyond Beats and Culture. I'm your host, Chase the Dark Sage.
I'm T.
Peace.
Disappointed ass J. Cole, man.
Man, shout out to Beyond Beats and Culture.